Yeah. Welcome to this intro to artificial intelligence. I'm Brandon, and this is called Fight the Power AI, and we're empowering minds one bite at a time. So, for those who maybe are familiar with that song, that's Fight the Power. Excuse me. It's a song by Public Enemy, and it came out in the late 80s. I believe it was part of Spike Lee and him coming up with the musical thing for his movie, Do the Right Thing. And as we know, I believe all of you would probably agree that knowledge is power. And part of just becoming more powerful and in the spirit of just liberation and freedom of the mind, right? I think it goes without saying that learning about some of the technologies that are coming out or that exist is important. It's very important. And I personally believe that artificial intelligence, it's not going away. It is only going to grow and expand. And I'm right now feeling like it's my goal and purpose to be able to share this, to let people know what it is and how helpful it can be in terms of creating, in terms of being able to be more productive and more efficient, and to help and to be helpful. And I know that there's a lot of discussion about how this could be bad for humanity. And it's unfortunate that human beings, we can be really sinister. But I want to focus at least on how helpful it can be, because it's been extremely helpful for me. It has radically changed, what I've been able to do. It's allowed me to be able to create something like this, a presentation, to get in curriculum, to get in ed tech, to be able to expand in my business, to be able to be more productive in my life, to be able to journal, to be able to be more creative. It is, you don't know, I get excited because I got a lot of positive feedback. So anyway, we're going to jump in. I got a short presentation that we're doing. So if you're joining us today, thank you so much. We're going to talk about, let's make sure that we can go to our next slide. All right. So just a little breakdown of how this presentation is going to go, what we're going to walk through here. I'm going to give you a definition for artificial intelligence that you'll be able to at least explain it to your friends and colleagues. I want you to be the go-to person that people say, hey, what is this stuff, right? Like, what is it? Is it robots taking over the world? Is it computers, overtaking our mind, right? And being able to just talk about like what it is and what it isn't. Hopefully I can simplify that for you. And then we'll talk about just machine learning, because that's a division of artificial intelligence. If you think about, artificial intelligence is a huge area of computer science. And we're going to narrow it down to machine learning. I'm going to give some real world examples, because if you didn't know, like, we're already living with AI. It's everywhere, it's everywhere. And I just want to talk through what that is. And then we're going to introduce ChatGPT, which is the focal point of the course, really, and how you can use ChatGPT, which is machine learning, which is a form of artificial intelligence, and how you can use that through prompt engineering, right? Being a prompt engineer, I won't be surprised if that becomes a position that people are hired to be able to do. And that's really how to use ChatGPT in a way that allows you to be better in your personal and professional role. Okay, so I hope that's a good overview about what's going on here. And definitely leave any comments. If you're following on, please leave comments. You can do that in the class module. So just, yes, facilitate discussion is really what I want to do. That's my goal here. So what is artificial intelligence? And by the way, like, this presentation was created with artificial intelligence, right? Like, this picture is dope, right? Like, this is just, I love this picture. And what is artificial intelligence, or AI is short? You see, AI, artificial intelligence, it's like giving a computer the ability to think, learn, and make decisions in a way that resembles human intelligence, right? And I don't know about you, but I asked myself, well, what is human intelligence? How do we really define human intelligence? What would you consider that to be? And it's quite simple. That can be defined as well. And I came up with just a definition for human intelligence, and that's really when we talk about what machine learning is that is the machine, the computer, learning how humans process information, right? Or how humans at least use their intelligence to be able to do tasks, right? So that's, if you really think about what machine learning is, so you have your definition for artificial intelligence, right? Resemble human intelligence. Well, how does it do it? And it does through a learning process, right? It does it through teaching the computer through a lot of data to be able to do this, right? These are really the foundational pieces of human intelligence. And that's understanding natural language. And natural language is what I'm doing right now, right? I'm talking into a computer, right? I'm speaking to you. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. And that's what natural language is, right? If you think from a very, very foundational and basic level, words and communication that humans do are simply noises that we make with our mouth, right? That are organized into sounds or syllables that are made into words that are then made into sentences and paragraphs and so forth, right? So how we communicate is natural language. What I'm doing right now, me speaking, you understanding. And then what you do is you recognize the patterns in speech. Or even a better example, if you think about small children and when they're learning, for instance, what a dog is, and you show them a picture of a dog and they see that the dog has fur, and they see that the dog has barks, it has 4 legs and paws and a tail, and they're able to see that and say a dog. So then when they're out walking in the street, it's funny because one of my young cousins, happened to see, a dog, and they're pointing, dog, roof, roof, right? And she understood that when you see a dog, it goes rough, and when it has a tail, it has paws, and she can make this level of discernment in terms of what a dog is. And then what happens is that she sees different dogs, and she'll be able to understand that a Rottweiler is different than a pit bull over time. So that's when you think about a computer is kind of doing the same thing and recognizing patterns in our speech of natural language, right? What kind of patterns do we have when we speak? What would be if I give some words, right? If I just deliver some words to a computer, it's able to then go through and say, well, what would be the next word in a sequence or system for a logical response, right? And that's really what making decisions. The computer is understanding what we're saying, recognizing patterns in our speech, and then making a decision on how to respond, right? And then the real kicker in that is then being able to learn from the experiences through all of this sequence, right? Understanding the speech, recognizing patterns in our speech, making a decision on how to respond, and then learning from how to do that, right? So if you think about humans doing this, we do this every day, right? As right now, you're doing it in real time. As you're listening to me speak, you're seeing the patterns in what I'm saying, you're making a decision in your brain, processing it, and then you're learning from their experience. You're going to go communicate that to your friends. This is, in essence, what the computer is doing in machine learning, right? So I hope that gives, kind of an idea, an overview that artificial intelligence is giving a computer the ability to think, learn, and make decisions in a way that resembles human intelligence. This process that we're going to learn about is machine learning, and machine learning is being able to teach the computer how to understand natural language, recognize patterns, make decisions, and learn from experiences. So boom, shakalaka. This is what you're going to be able to tell your friends when people ask you, well, what is artificial intelligence, right? It's about teaching computers how to replicate human intelligence. I'm like, whoa, that sounds crazy, but that's in essence, that's what it is. So artificial intelligence already exists in our world, right? These companies are using artificial intelligence. By the way, I love these graphics, right? I love these graphics. These are all made with the image generator. I can't wait to jump into that, man. You don't know I get excited about this kind of stuff, but all these companies are using artificial intelligence. If you got a Netflix account, right? I have a Netflix account, and they haven't caught on to me in terms of me sharing the account yet. So I'm still using my parents. I'm on their account. We ought to share this. But Netflix, when it recommends a different TV show for you, I'm trying to think right now, what am I watching on Netflix? I think I'm watching a Lincoln Lawyer or something like that, about this lawyer that he's a hot shot in LA and blah, blah, blah. But it recommended me this show based on all the other shows that I'm watching. So recognizing a pattern, right? Hey, you watch these shows, you could be interested in these other shows because we've learned that millions of other people who watch similar shows to you, they also like this show. So we're going to recommend it to you. That's a form of machine learning, which is a form of artificial intelligence. Gmail. The Gmail did something awesome for me the other day when I went to send a message and it said that, hey, you said that there was an attachment supposed to be in this message, but you didn't attach anything. And I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty dope that Gmail can do that. But what it's doing is saying, hey, you said in your email, this PDF is attached, but there isn't any attachment. You may want to check it. This is a form of artificial intelligence. When you talk to Siri, right? When I go, hey Siri, and she pops up, hey, how can I help you? This is Siri understanding. She said, I'm not sure, I don't understand. This is Siri understanding natural language, right? When we talk about me communicating, Siri's taking all the words that I'm saying, piecing those together and saying what would be, the pattern, what I'm saying will be the next logical response in that. If you don't have social media, people think you're weird. So we all probably have some kind of social media account. And I always tell this test for people that Instagram, if you ever want to do something with a person, tell them, hey, I want to go to your explore page. Go to their explore page with them, and then you'll find out what Instagram, Facebook, what kind of person they think you are, right? You go to a person's social media and say, hey, let me see it. So you go to your social media, go check out your IG and your explore page. And this is a prime example of how machine learning and artificial intelligence is being used, because it is saying based off what you've viewed on Instagram, what you click on, what you scroll on, what you watch, this is an indicator of some things that you may like. Recognizing patterns, making decisions, learning from the experience, and being able to create an experience for you on the platform. Another beautiful thing happened for me with credit card fraud. I was swiping my credit card. I was actually traveling, and I went to Chicago, and then I was in Indianapolis, and then I was in Cincinnati. And the credit card company said, man, you're getting gas in all these different cities. And first thing people do when they steal a credit card is they usually go get gas. I learned about this from working in the bank, just from corporate security would say, if you see someone that has a fraud on their account, typically when they find a credit card, they go and spend it at the gas station. Fitting, I guess. So the credit card companies have machine learning, and they're using artificial intelligence to say, hey, well, based on these patterns, that this looks like someone has a copy of your credit card and that they're using it. And then, of course, Google. We know Google in the search engine, and being able to organize all the things that you search on Google, or GPS, right? These are all things that are using using machine learning and artificial intelligence. But it has all been happening behind the scenes, right? This isn't anything that we've had access to. We know what's going on, but we aren't like pushing the buttons. We aren't pulling the strings per se when this is happening. Until now, right? Until now, there's a company. This company, OpenAI, is really the company behind this democratization of technology and artificial intelligence, and allowing the public to have access to this. So I remember when GPS, I'm old enough to remember MapQuest, when we were printing off lists to be able to drive. And I remember when GPS first came out and people were afraid. They're like, oh my God, I'm not going to use GPS because what if it guides me, off the road, turns me into the ocean? Like, people had all these wild things that they thought would happen. And now, I pretty much, anytime I go somewhere, I put in GPS because it'll tell me if there's any traffic. That's a kind of a hack for me, that I put GPS when I'm, hey Google, let me know if there's any traffic on my way. But this company, OpenAI, Microsoft has now, I think, invested a couple $2 billion into helping streamline this for them. And they started off as a nonprofit, and they wanted to let artificial intelligence help people. They really believe that technology can be a tool to be able to give people more access to knowledge. And they're doing this. So if you get time, check out OpenAI and their company and their mission. It's a really, really cool company to check out. But the big thing that they did was create a platform called Chat GPT, and it's GPT. And I won't get into just the technological standpoints around GPT and what it is and how it works, but just quickly, I can't help myself. It's a large language model. And that just means that if you imagine you have a library, all the books in the library, all the information that's on the internet. If you have all of this that's out there, and you take a computer, and the computer combs through all this information and puts it in one space. And then you can write what is called prompts. They're called prompts because you're writing to a chat bot. And this is like little GPT. It's like him. He's a little chat bot. Imagine you talking to little GPT, and you write GPT and you asking it questions saying, hey, can you tell me about Public Enemy and Fight the Power and what was going on with this song in the 80s? And it goes out and it pulls this information from the internet and says, hey, well, Public Enemy and Flavor Flav and whoever and Chuck D, they were in this group, and they were challenging the status quo and blah, 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 right? You have access to this at your fingertips. And these are called prompts, where you write a chat bot and it gives you this kind of information. And right now, just from a technological standpoint, this might be helpful to understand, is that GPT-3 came out in November or December of last year 2022. And now we're on GPT-4, right? So the big question is, man, when we get to GPT-10, right, what is it going to be like? And this is the crux of the course, by the way, too, is Chat GPT is learning how to use this. As you can see, it says get answers, find creative inspiration, and learn something new, right? This is absolutely what you're able to do. And I hope that that's what we're going to go through in the rest of the course. So I'm going to show you in the next module how we're going to set up a Chat GPT account. You're going to get one. There's a free version. Again, that's GPT-3. I think it's 3.5 now that's free. And we're going to delve into all of that. And then GPT-4 is $20 per month. And it's a radical upgrade to this kind of software. But I'm gonna detail all of that, what this looks like, what GPT is, and how it works, because really prompt engineering is how it really works, right? You're going to be able to write prompts and write queries that says, hey, how do I collect information? How do I generate ideas? And how do I use this as a thought partnership? And right now you're like, man, what the heck does any of that mean? Or I don't know what none of this prompt engineering stuff. I'm not an engineer, right? But you will be once you finish this course. And really, this is just about how to use this tool in the best way to get the best results. And you want to think about it in these three buckets, right? Am I collecting information or organizing information? Am I trying to generate ideas or brainstorm? Or do I want to have conversation, right? Do I want to use this machine learning or this artificial intelligence or this chatbot to be able to work through an idea? And I have several examples in the modules, information collection. You'll be able to see, right? It's unbelievable, y'all, what this thing can do. I'm telling you, like it has radically transformed, what I'm able to do, what I even think is possible, right? So I'm really excited, and I hope that this gives you a good idea. So just to recap, right? We're going to go back and say, hey, this is what artificial intelligence is, right? I hope you got your definition. I hope you got your definition for artificial intelligence, because you're going to be quizzed on it. So you got a definition for artificial intelligence. You got a definition for machine learning, right? How the computers learn, giving it a bunch of data and it giving it an opportunity to be able to understand natural language, recognize patterns, make decisions, and learn from experiences. You've already been using it. You've already been using artificial intelligence in your life. If you have any of these things, right? You've been using it. And OpenAI, right? Knowing about them and what they do, right? Them being the leader in right now in terms of giving access to artificial intelligence to the public forum. And then ChatGPT, which is going to be our good friend. Little GPT, what's good? We're going to walk through that. So I hope that has been absolutely just great. And remember, you know, knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power. So you got to fight the power, you know, and I really, really, really hope that you take this serious, that you really, really jump into this and you keep an open mind and you allow yourself to explore and you open yourself up to like a new reality and a new world, and you just embrace it, man. Be embraced. Don't be afraid, and walk through this journey with me. And I hope this is helpful. So in the next module, like I said, we're going to talk about GPT and getting your account set up. And that's it. That's it, man. Leave your questions and let me know. Let me know what you guys think, man. Knowledge is power, y'all. Peace.